All right, so let's get started. This is, again, Leslie Likens with CXPA. I am the association's Director of Member Engagement, and I will go into a little bit more about our staff here in just a minute. This is our Making the Most of Your Membership call. So what we really want to do with this is walk you through where you can find value in the CXPA membership, and then how you navigate around the site and where to find our in-person events and so forth. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to bring those up throughout. I do quite a bit of talking in a very short period of time, but I also save about 5 minutes or so at the end to answer those questions as well. So I usually like to start with just a little bit of background about CXPA. So our association was founded 5 years ago, so we're a relatively young association, and it was started by Bruce Timken and Jean Bliss, both thought leaders in the space. They had been consulting, and they realized that there was a definite need to bring CX professionals together to learn from one another and support one another. Very often, people were working in companies trying to be change agents, and they felt sort of like an island within their own organization. And so there was really a strong purpose to bring together member-to-member sharing so that best practices could be shared, tools and tips and techniques could be shared amongst the members. And so we've focused over the last 5 years quite a bit on facilitating that member-to-member sharing. And I think you'll see that as we walk through the membership benefits a bit more. The second reason why CXPA was established was really to solidify customer experience as a recognized discipline. And so again, we've taken steps over the last 5 years from launching the certification to defining core competencies to really solidify customer experience as that recognized discipline. And so you'll see some of those examples as well. I like to tell people that our association has the strongest community that I think I've ever worked with. And I think as you go through the membership, you'll find that the real value behind CXPA is in the members and in the community and the networking that's available to you through the association. We have hundreds of resources and we have phenomenal events, but really you have at your fingertips an incredible network of customer experience peers. And they're so willing to share and to just provide any support and assistance that they can to help you within your own organization. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that through CXPA. We are currently led by our board of directors. So CXPA has 14 board members. Our co-founders, Bruce and Jean, have since stepped down from leadership roles and are no longer part of our current board of directors. Our chairman is Desiree Madison-Biggs. She's with Airbnb. Then we also have Vice Chair Bob Asman and our Secretary-Treasurer Annette Franz. So you can see our board members here, but we do have a very active, engaged board of directors, and in fact you'll find them contributing resources, webinars, and so forth throughout your CXPA membership. They're very approachable and eager to help others. We then have a very small staff, so you can see our CXPA staff. This is me here. Again, I'm the Director of Member Engagement. We have a CEO on board, Diane Majors, who was previously with customer experience at AT&T and has been at a number of other companies as well. We have Erica Ashfeld, who is on board as our Strategic Partnerships Manager. She works with all of our sponsors and our corporate members. And then Sophia Rotello, who we have on the line today as well. And Sophia runs our marketing and our local networking initiative through CXPA. We have a couple of CXPA founding members who are also working with us on contracts. This is Kim Proctor. She works with us for digital experience and technology support. We just, in the last 4 weeks, have been going through a major database transition and doing a bit of our own growing up, as I would like to say. And then Drew Hall is our program administrator for the CCXP program. Our association also uses a management company out of Minneapolis, and Jamie Nolan is the CEO of that company. The name is Intrinsic. They provide events and administrative support for us, and Adrian Bryant works alongside Jamie from our management company, as well as Jessica Burgess. So we have a pretty small staff for a growing membership. CXPA has, at this point, over 4,000 members worldwide. That represents about 70 countries at this point, all around the globe. And so we really are a global association. You can see here further information around the breakdown of titles and industries and so forth. But we have a pretty diverse group, with the majority of our members coming from the United States, Canada, and the UK. Now, I mentioned before the value behind the community that you're a part of, and there's a couple of places that I want to specifically point out where you can maximize that. Here under the Learn tab is one of the first places that I always point to, and that is our expert panel. So CXPA has 18 designated CX experts. These are people who had at least 10 years of experience in the field of customer experience, and they were selected by a committee of their fellow CXPA members to serve on this role. This expert panel is available to you as a member anytime. You just click this orange button, and it opens up an email to the panel. So if there's something that you're working through, or you just need some advice from a group of people, maybe you don't want to bring something to the overall discussion forum, maybe it's more sensitive in nature, this is a great opportunity for you to get some really good insight and some sound advice from your peers. All you have to do is just click that orange button, and again, it's an email. Typically, you'll get about 2 to 3 responses from our experts within about a 3 to 4 hour period. They do bounce off of one another, and they build off of each other's answers, so you can get some really solid advice through this. The only thing that our expert panel is not allowed to address are questions regarding solutions in the industry. So many of these experts come from companies that are providers in the CX space, and so we have limited them on their ability to make solution recommendations. So that's really the only thing that they cannot address. Now, if you're looking for a larger group to ask questions to, we also have a very robust discussion forum. So CXPA's discussion forum is very popular. We have questions and comments coming up here on a daily basis. We have just this one discussion forum, so all topics and threads are welcome here. And you'll find quite a bit of response and support from your fellow members here in this discussion forum as well. You can see those members who are certified will have a CCXP after their name. We also have CX Expert, which follows the names of those that are on our expert panel too. So you'll see them contributing here in the discussion forum. And you're welcome, of course, to come in here and post messages and respond. You're very likely receiving a daily digest email each day that summarizes the conversations that have happened here on the discussion forum for the day. That's something that you can very easily customize to make it work for you. All you need to do is just make sure that you are signed in here in the upper right-hand corner, and then you're going to go to the profile, your profile here on cxpa.org. And within that profile, you can make changes to your bio, your address, and so forth. You're going to want to look under the My Account tab, and then underneath that, Community Notifications. And here you're able to customize those daily emails. Maybe you only want to receive them weekly. You can change that. You can turn off the emails. You can set them to real time, to daily digest, and you can consolidate if you belong to more than one community within our association. So very easy way to go in there and change those settings. Now, on top of the expert panel and the discussion forum, we also have a mentorship program within CXPA. We launched this 2 years ago, and it's become very popular. It's actually open for enrollment right now. So if this is something that interests you, you'll want to keep an eye on this here over the next couple of weeks as we have our mentor applications roll in and then our mentee enrollment period. The way that we run this mentor program is on 6-month cycles. So there's an actual start and an end to the mentor cycle. You'll match with one mentor, and mentors can match with up to 3 or 4 mentees as they desire. But we ask mentees to select one mentor. And during that period, we ask that at a minimum you meet with that mentor-mentee for 1 hour per month. Many of our matches meet every other week. The topics that we've heard people share that they've covered through these mentor matches, everything from professional development, preparing for the certification exam, to help with a tactical implementation of something at their organization, or leadership buy-in and organizational adoption are just a few of the topics that I've heard some of our mentors and mentees share that they've discussed over that 6-month period. So the way that the program works is right now we have a call out for anyone interested in mentoring. They can simply click here and just apply for that mentor program. It'll create a profile for you. And then over this 2-week period, our mentees will go in and they'll apply. And then we'll have this matchmaking period where we encourage everyone to review the mentors or the mentees and place requests. And then we run a kickoff call there in the middle of March. So it's a pretty fun program. We check in with you halfway through, and then at the end of the 6-month cycle, we have a follow-up call as well. Typically, we have about 50 to 60 matches during each of our cycles, and we've had quite a few people go through this program. So I encourage you to take a deeper look at that if it would be something that would interest you. Okay, so again, that's under the careers, and you'll want to look at Mentor Match. Now, on top of these ways to connect to connect virtually with your fellow members, we also have live events as well. So you'll want to check out the Events tab, and then underneath that we have both our CXPA conferences, which details out our larger annual membership conference both here in the United States as well as Europe, as well as our regional events. And then we have Connect Locally, where we have our more local-based, more frequent events. So let me just pull up the CXPA conferences first. Our main annual conference is called the CXPA Insight Exchange, and we again offer that in the United States. That will be happening in May this year, and it's going to be held in Phoenix, Arizona. You can already start to register and get a few more details around the event at that link. We also then offer the same Insight Exchange in Europe, and the 2017 European Insight Exchange will be in London in the fall, in November. So more information will be coming on the European Insight Exchange. What's really unique about this conference is that it's very member-to-member driven. So our members form volunteer committees, and the entire event is really planned and executed by your CXPA members, with a great deal of sharing and small group networking. So over the 2-day period, there's some great keynote presentations, some really fantastic breakout presentations around award-winning brands. But there's also a lot of opportunity for what we call our show and tell sessions, where members are bringing a particular tool or technique or practice that they've implemented successfully within their organization, and then they're sharing that to small groups of 10 to 12 people around the table, and you're rotating, from each of these different show and tell sessions. So really a lot of member-to-member networking and sharing on those small group bases at the Insight Exchange. We then also have, coming up this year, a couple of Customer Spark events. These are more regional events where we focus on 6 major brands, and they do short 20-minute presentations, think TED Talk style, around something that they have implemented successfully within their organization. You can see a few of those presentations here. The video recordings are available to you from those major brands, and we expect again to roll out 2 more of these Customer Spark events in 2017. And then we have our Executive Summit, which is open for executive-level CX practitioners at brands that don't sell CX products or services. So we're really looking for those executives at major brands who want to come together, and this is a 1-day facilitated conversation and networking event that we offer, and so you can see the dates and cities for those. So a lot of these regional and then also nationwide events that are available to you. Looking at a more local basis, the association does not have chapters, so CXPA is a centrally organized association, but we definitely value the the coming together of groups in person to network and share best practices. So where we have 3 or more CX members that are willing to come together and commit to volunteering for maybe quarterly or semi-annual events, they can form what we call a local networking team. And today we have over 50 of these teams located worldwide, so you can see them in various continents. If you hover over any of these circles, it will show you the member who is the networking lead in that particular city. Each city is different, and so some will have a monthly get-together at a coffee shop with maybe larger quarterly events. Others have, an event every 6 months, and it will be a very large event hosted by a brand with a keynote presenter. Sometimes it's roundtable conversations. So just a real variety there based on what those local networking teams are able to organize. And they're always looking for member volunteers who would like to join those teams if that's something that interests you. Likewise, if there's not a team in your area and you're interested in forming one, just feel free to reach out to us. Again, Sophia leads this program for us, and you can reach her at local, L-O-C-A-L, at CXPA.org, and she can help you connect with your fellow members in that area and determine whether or not you want to go forward with starting a local networking team. Now, with these different ways to connect with one another, we also have a number of resources that are available to you as CXPA members. If you are not logged into the site, you'll see these public resources, which are excellent, and we recommend them to anyone. They're ebooks that you can download featuring successful CX professionals and what they attribute to that success and so forth. But if you are a CXPA member and you're logged in, you can see a larger database of resources that have been contributed by your fellow members. Our resources are divided into the 6 recognized core competencies of customer experience. These core competencies directly relate back to the competencies that are tested for on the certification exam. And then within each one of these folders, you'll find a number of different resources that are available to you, broken out by the type of resource. Everything from webinars that are available to CX tools, which are typically an Excel spreadsheet with a metrics report or a PowerPoint presentation that walks through how a customer experience room was implemented, things like that, to these 10-minute takeaway presentations, which is basically a 10-minute video presentation around something that a person has implemented successfully at their brand. So wide range of resources here. I typically recommend the search function on this site as well if you're looking specifically for something around customer journey management. Be sure and take a look at typing it into the search bar. It will bring up both the resources that are available to you here in the resource library, as well as any discussions that may have happened on the discussion forum and blog posts around the topic as well. So very good, robust search capabilities on the site. The last thing that I wanted to point out here on the site are our courses. We expect to launch at least 2 more courses during the first half of this year. This was our pilot course that we began with last fall on customer journey management. These are typically a 3 to 4 week course that's offered online for an hour and a half each week. There are the recordings that are available for purchase. There is an extra cost for these courses. And again, these are organized, prepared, facilitated, and instructed by your fellow members who are experts in the field that we are having the course around. So again, very much member-to-member driven are these courses. So look for more information on those coming here soon as well. I did mention certification. So CXPA rolled out a certification. We call it the Certified Customer Experience Professional. There are now over 400 certified professionals worldwide, and that's over the past 2 years since we rolled out the certification. It's a very robust process to become certified. You do need to apply, and there's a minimum number of years experience in the field that you'll want to have in order to apply. Once your application is accepted, you then do register and go to a testing location to sit for the exam. You'll find out that same day whether or not you've passed. And if so, you'll join the over 400 people worldwide who are now certified customer experience professionals. So a really great program here, and it continues to gain momentum. And then the last thing I wanted to point out here is our Customer Experience Day. So CXPA began a few years ago with a recognized day to celebrate customer experience worldwide. It feels very much like New Year's, where we start in Asia Pacific and we work our way around the globe, celebrating both online with various panels and webinars from different parts of the world. And those are all recorded and available here on the cxday.org site. We also encourage all of our local networking teams to hold events on Customer Experience Day. So you'll see quite a few events that are happening that day in person. And then we work with companies to help them celebrate customer experience internally. So a lot of different resources here that are available to help bring customer experience to your company in a very fun, engaging, and celebratory way. Everything that CXPA does on Customer Experience Day is open and available to the public. So there's some really nice resources here that I usually point people to as well. If you have somebody who's interested or a colleague that's curious about what CXPA is like and what our material and our members are like, these webinars and panel discussions are a great example. And so they're available to you here at cxday.org. Okay, you know what, I think I probably forgot to mention that CX Day is the first Tuesday of October, which is probably important as well. So, you know, feel free to put that on your calendar now. It's a very fun and exciting day for us, that first Tuesday of October. So I saved just a couple of minutes, but I wanted to check to see if anyone had questions or if there's anything that I could go back over and explain in further detail.
This is Pat Harrell, and I'm curious because I was looking for an organization like this. I'm a member of the Project Management Institute, and it's the, I would assume, the premier institute for IT program managers like myself. Is CXPA, would you consider it to be the, I'm going to guess I know the answer to this, but would you consider it to be the leading organization? I haven't located very many.
Well, that's a great question, a fair question. I would say right now CXPA is the only true nonprofit association centered specifically around customer experience. So there's you know, user experience, there's design organizations, there's organizations built around, you know, call centers and that type of thing. But if you're looking for a group of members or a community that is really centered on customer experience. So everything from customer experience strategy for an organization to customer experience design, organizational adoption, employee engagement, all of those elements that go into customer experience, then this really is your option. And I like the fact that we are global. I think that it's very important to keep in mind the amazing initiatives that we're seeing out of, you know, Dubai in the Middle East when it comes to high-value retail, or the things that you see in Europe that are happening right now around customer experience. So I would say that there's a really strong, robust community here. Now, if you're looking for something specific, you know, to call centers, and you really want to focus on a call center conversation, you're going to get some of that here, but, you know, not as robust as if you get into a more focused association that's specific to call centers. I think customer experience is going to be a bit broad if you're looking for a very particular aspect.
Okay, good. I understand. Oh, actually it does, and I think that it is what I was looking for, because I believe that what I've done for many years actually fits into customer experience in my role as a program manager. And my question would be, are there tools or programs or something on here that would help me map what I have been doing into those 6 categories or practices? I forget what you call them.
Yeah, you know, I think you would really enjoy the next course that we have coming up here, which we haven't launched yet, but it's going to be kind of a customer experience 101 as we step through each of those core competencies. And I think going through that exercise would really help you say, you know what, this definitely is an example of something that I've done around that competency, and it's something that interests me. So I'll go back and take a look again under those resources in that particular competency to see, other aspects that I might introduce to my organization around, voice of the customer and listening, and pull some more of that if that's, that's the direction you want to go.
Very good. Then I think I shall join and dive in and see what I can find. Thank you.
You're joining a great group of peers.
All right.
I think you really like the community.
Well, good.
Tina, Wendy, do either of you have any questions?
I don't have a question.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Well, if I can help with anything else, always feel free to reach back out to me at any time. I am always here and available. This is my email address right here if you do need help, or if something was of interest to you and you just can't remember how to get to it, feel free to reach back out to me.
Okay.
And I would like to thank all of you. Thanks for joining me this morning, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Well, thank you for the presentation.